Do I say, oh yeah. Do I say welcome? Is that what I say? Or do I say this is What in the Duck? What did I hear? Is this part of it? Can we leave this part in? Hey! Welcome to What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Dream Machines of Texas, www.dreammachinesoftexas.com. All your used motorcycle wants and needs all in one place at www.dreammachinesoftexas.com. They have multiple locations with large inventory and get new bikes in every week. Knowledgeable staff with great service and financing and extended warranty options available. They also have a complete service garage, so every bike is gone through and brought up to speed before you hit the road. I have bought more than a few bikes from Dream Machines over the years, and I could not be more satisfied. I've also had friends from all over the country buy bikes from Dream Machines because they couldn't find a better deal anywhere. You can buy a bike and have it shipped to you anywhere in the U.S. Why buy a brand new bike with that brand new high price when you can get a like-new bike with that dream deal you've been looking for? Go to www.dreammachinesoftexas.com and get a bike and get your ass on the road. Welcome to What in the Duck podcast. I'm your host, Oliver Peck. Thank you for tuning in, and this week we have a good buddy of mine on the show. His name is Tommy Montoya, tattooer from California. A lot of you might know who he is. He is definitely one of those famous tattooers. He's been on the television and all that, but he's a really a funny guy, an amazing character. Me and him really get along. We both workaholics and tattooers, and we love it. And he's really happy to have Tommy on. And I hope you stick around and listen to the interview. It's gonna be a good one. We talk about some shit. But before we get into that, as always, I'm going to answer a few questions from the email. Reminder, everybody out there, if you want to hear me answer your question on the podcast, just email me any question you want to whatintheduckpodcast@gmail.com. And first question up today from Clever Kev. Kevin W. He signs. He says, I had a question I'd love to get an answer from you on. Been a fan for years, loved the podcast, always wanted to ask, what would your advice be to give someone who walked into your shop who has never gotten a tattoo before? Do you recommend to start with something small or discourage them from going too big straight out of the gate? Any experience recommendations based on skin complexion? Well, the first part of this question I'm going to address is the skin complexion part. If you're going to a qualified tattooer, the first thing you should do is trust their advice about the technical abilities of what a tattoo can and cannot be. So certain placement of the skin, certain placement on the body, certain skin types, hold ink in different ways. And so there's certain things that can be done in some areas that can't be done in other areas, like small, minute details on areas like the elbows typically doesn't work. Everybody's skin is different. Some people have what we refer to as really coarse elephant skin on their elbows, and some people have really soft, supple skin on their elbows. It just depends on how much sun damage you have, how many times you've fallen down and abrased yourself, how much lotion you apply on a daily basis, a lot of factors. But, if a tattoo artist gives you advice on what's going to look good and what can and cannot be done in that area of skin, you should take their advice. Also, as far as skin complexion goes, you have to have a reasonable expectation of what can be done on your type of skin. Darker skin obviously has limitations other than fairer skin. No judgment on what type of skin you have, but you have to be realistic on what's going to happen. For instance, there was a big hubbub on the internet a few years ago, and people were, calling out different artists for being discriminatory because they were refusing to tattoo certain colors on certain people. And, if you have dark skin, light blue is not going to work. That's just physics. It's just the way life is. And if you have dark skin and light blue is your favorite color, you're going to have to wear a t-shirt that's light blue. You're not going to be able to get a tattoo that's light blue. And, people were calling people out, like, if you don't tattoo light blue on dark skinned people, then you're racist. And I was like, that is insanity. It's like, oh yeah, us white people, we're saving the light blue for our own kind. What a crock. I mean, it's just insane that you would take things to that extreme limit. But yeah, just have a reasonable expectation of what is capable in tattooing, and trust your tattoo artist. If you're going to a qualified, experienced tattooer, if you don't trust what the tattooer says, first of all, regardless of the scenario, like if you go to a tattoo artist and he tells you something and you don't trust what he's saying to be true, then that's not the artist for you. If you're telling the tattoo artist to do something that he's telling you not to do, whether you're right or he's right, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. That's the wrong tattoo artist for you. You need to find the tattoo artist that you're going to trust what they say, because that's going to be the best outcome. Now, even so, for example, a less qualified tattoo artist is going to tell you what he can do, because that's what he can do. That doesn't mean that's the only thing that can be done. But if you want him to do something that he says he can't do, you're off to the wrong foot. And what I personally do, if people want something outside of my expertise, I just refer them to the person I know that can do it. And I'm pretty honest about what I can and cannot do, and what can and cannot be done at all. Now, some people say, well, so-and-so will do this. And I will say, yeah, I don't think that's a good choice, but it's your body, your choice. You can do whatever you want. But just have trust in your tattoo artist, and that's the best start off to your relationship of getting a tattoo with someone. But back to the previous portion of the question about people coming into the shop and, getting their first tattoo, which, I've been tattooing for 30 years, and there's never been a week that goes by that somebody's not getting their first tattoo. It's just how it is. People turn 18 every day and they want to get their first tattoo, or people in their later years in life flip a switch in their head that they think now it's okay to get a tattoo, so they want to get their first tattoo. As far as what to recommend someone to get for their first tattoo, I usually have a conversation with somebody about what their expectations about tattoos are. Some people instantly know that they want to get a lot of tattoos. And so going big right off the bat, there's a lot of people that get a whole sleeve for their first tattoo. It's like a lot of people plan to get a back piece and it's their whole first tattoo. And they have this idea of they want to go big, and they're already mentally committed to being tattooed. So getting a big tattoo right off the bat isn't. Other people, the water's cold. They want to tip their toe in to make sure they can handle it, and they want to get a little tattoo. Either way is totally fine. Either way, whatever you can do to minimize the amount of regret in your tattoo process is probably the smartest thing. If you're leery about getting a tattoo, then yes, maybe getting something small is the right thing for you. I would say almost every single person that gets a little tattoo ends up getting something bigger later. It's like the people that they want to start riding motorcycles, so they get a Sportster, and then within 6 months they should have just bought a bigger motorcycle. But most people that are timid about getting tattooed are scared from the pain, or they're scared from the judgment of their peers or family. And as soon as you break that wall down and realize that pain is temporary and you can handle it, and the judgment of your family really doesn't matter because nobody's, then they wish they would have gone bigger. So I guess it's Either way, you just get tattooed. And if you get a too small tattoo, the easy thing is you can just get more tattoos and move on with your life. I don't know if I really, got to the heart of this question, but I feel like, Kevin, that's what you're going to get. All right, next question from Andrewski82. Mr. Andrew. Another tattoo-related question, which we also talk about here with Tommy in this episode. Why do you hate the dildo machine so much? I've heard you mention it a few times, and besides from the cheap ones, I've seen a lot of well-respected tattoo artists have been starting to use quality wireless machines. So my question is, do you hate all wireless tattoo machines or just the cheap pieces of shit ones? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the great dildo debate, I call them the dildos because, and there's this, first of all, people argue that it's not a dildo. People argue that it's a vibrator because in the sex toy world, a dildo is just a phallic-shaped item that you insert into your chosen orifice. But a vibrator is the object that actually vibrates to stimulate the area. So if it vibrates, it's a vibrator. A dildo is just a dildo. But I say that the tattoo machines, I call them dildos because they would easily insert up your ass. That's why I call them a dildo. A regular coil tattoo machine would be very, very difficult to insert in the anus. I'm not saying that somebody couldn't do it, because there people put all kinds of shit up their fucking butt. But a real tattoo machine, especially with the tube and the grip and the needle and thing, would be very, very obtrusive. It is not cylindrical. It is not smooth. It has a lot of protruding parts. If you were to get a real tattoo machine up your butt, you would definitely have to go to the doctor to get it out. But the dildo machine, slight bit of lube, in and out, no problem. In and out, no problem. And I mean, turn that puppy on, let it fucking whiz. I mean, it's probably the best use of that machine. Personally, me as a tattooer, thinking the reason that I'm a tattooer and the reason I love tattoos and the reason most people get tattoos is because tattoos are fucking cool. Tattoos are cool. Tattoos are tough. Tattoos hurt. Tattoos, they make a stand. They fucking have, give you an outward expression of your artistic values or sentimental moments or symbolism of love and strength and family. I mean, tattoos are a bonding thing between people. Tattoos are an amazing thing. And I personally love tattooing more than anything. And so therefore, when I take such care and love and passion into a craft, I refused to cheapen it and make it easier. I refuse to fucking water it down and make it more convenient. I refuse to succumb to using some little electric toothbrush in creating something that I think has a lasting, obviously has a lasting mark on your body and your life. And I just, these wireless machines and these little dildos that I call them are just, they just don't hold up to what the tradition of tattooing the way I believe it is. And I tell people all the time that the machines I use, some of which are older than myself, that I've gotten from tattooers that are long gone, and they still make tattoos, and it's a part of history, and it really means something. And then I have tattoo machines that were made specifically for me that I've been using for decades. And 100 years after I'm dead, someone will be able to do tattoos with these machines that are handcrafted, and they are pieces of art themselves, and they are something that matters and something that you can hold on to. It's a legacy piece. This little battery plastic fucking thing will be in the landfill in a few years, and then somebody will get a brand new one. It's like a Bic lighter, And I'm just not gonna cheapen my craft that way. And I know there are a lot of my friends that use them. A lot of really good tattooers use them. And my argument with that is a good tattooer can create great tattoos with whatever method they use. It's Tony Hawk could skate a $10 skateboard and skate better than almost anyone, but that doesn't mean that Tony Hawk is going to get just a piece of shit garbage skateboard because he can. Tony Hawk has his own quality made signature model board that he believes in and he can stand behind, and he can fucking say, this is a real skateboard. A lot of people say, oh, the dildo machines are easier. Oh, the dildo machines are more convenient. Oh, the cartridge things are blah, 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 blah. Well, what you're doing is like, it's plastic crap that you throw away. The machines I use use stainless steel tubes that are cleaned and autoclaved and reused, less trash. So if you want to look at it from an environmental standpoint, it's less plastic, it's less trash, it's less disposable, it's better for everything. And, you buy something that you don't throw away and use for years, obviously that's going to be more cost effective. But my argument about making things easier and making things more convenient is that doesn't make things better, and it doesn't make you happier, and it doesn't create a better environment and a better world, a better anything. What happens when you make things easier to do? The very simple answer is you make people lazier. Because if it's easier to do, it's less effort to get it done, and you end up having lazier people. And look what has happened to our society in my whole life that I've been cognizant and witnessing progression of technology. Personally, every decade I've witnessed things get easier to do. And subsequently, I have witnessed a generation after generation after generation of lazier and lazier and lazier people. So you make things easier, the outcome is lazier people. 100%. That is unequivocal to me. So what happens when you make things more? Same thing when you make things more convenient. You make things easier to do, you end up being weaker. When I was a kid, I've had this debate a million times. When I was a kid, I had to take the trash out. I was small, trash can was big, trash was heavy. It was hard to take the trash out. I had to physically exert strength to take this trash out. Nowadays, you have to take trash out. Trash can has wheels on it. So what happens? You don't have to be as strong to take the trash out. You end up with weaker people, physically weaker people. Then you make things more convenient, you make them lazier. Everything that has happened technologically in our lifetime, every innovation, it makes something easier to do, it makes something more convenient. So it's no surprise that people are getting weaker and lazier and weaker as things get more easy and more convenient. And I think that in a craft like tattooing, where you're supposed to dedicate your life to it and you're supposed to care about it, and it's a lifelong dedication to striving to getting better and better and better over a long streaming arc career, I think that no shortcuts should be taken. I don't think that you should make it easier to be a tattooer. I don't think you should make it more convenient to be a tattooer. I think that only the dedicated, hardworking people that dedicate their life to do it should be the ones that accomplish that goal. And so if you're looking for the quick, easy fix, then I think you're going down the wrong path. And I think that's where, when, you hear the phrase, the world's going to shit, this is part of the problem. People are looking for the easy, more convenient, quicker, fast track. Nobody wants to start a band and write their own songs and get in a van and tour the country for years and make it big. Everybody wants to just get one thing and get on the internet and be famous overnight. you know, the Justin Bieber route is not the correct route. And it's been proven, because look at Justin Bieber now. Fucking loser. But I mean, hey, a lot of people love him. And you know what they say, there's no accounting for taste. So that being said, I am going to wrap up this section of the question. And I'm not, hey, Andrewski82, I feel like I might have given you more than you asked for on that question. Hopefully I at least satisfied a little bit of it. And in the end, I think everybody can do what they want to do with their own life. But for me personally, in my tattoo shop, we stick to people who really want to do tattoos, people who really care about this craft, people who are going to use real tattoo machines and do things not the easiest way. But just on while I'm on this topic, before I wrap it up, I'm just going to say, in extension to just that, also people using the iPad to draw and do tattoos, I throw that into the same thing. If you're making it easier and more convenient, you're doing less work. I just don't think it's the best. I mean, when you draw with real implements on real paper or real board or real canvas, you're creating something with your art. You're actually creating something tangible. And if art is not something tangible, then I just don't know what it is. Just some digital thing that's floating in the ether doesn't really matter to me. But when I will say this real quick, when you use the iPad, it is assisting you in drawing. It corrects your line a little bit. It smooths out your curves. It makes the line width consistent all the way through. Instead of having to use your hand, instead of having to care, instead of having to try, instead of having to work hard, instead of having to pay attention, you can just whip, didgeridoo, and you think you're an artist. But here's my simple question, and I've asked this a million times to a million people, or hundreds of times to hundreds of people. If you want to be good at something, when in the history of time did someone get better at something by doing less of it? You're an artist. You should strive to be better and better as the years go on. Being a tattooer and being an artist is about drawing. You want to get better at drawing. You want to be a better artist. You want to be a better tattooer. Even if you're not a tattooer, you want to be a better artist. The answer is not drawing less. The answer is not having a computer help you draw. That is not the answer how to get better at drawing. The answer is drawing more. So if you have to draw more on paper to get that design right than you would have to do on the iPad, which avenue do you want to take? Because you use that iPad for 10 years or you draw on paper for 10 years, who's going to be better at drawing? Who's going to get better at hand control? Who's going to get better with everything? The person who did less drawing or the person who did more drawing? Seems simple to me. I've been drawing on paper my whole life. I've been tattooing for 30 years. I draw every tattoo on paper, and I have all those drawings. 30 years later, I have tangible items that I've created that exist today in stacks and file cabinets. And I can look through them, I can reference them, I can enjoy them, I can share them, I can give them. It's something that exists. I created something. With your didgeridoo, what are you creating? All right, guys, let's get into it. Stick around. We got Tommy Montoya, world famous Tommy Montoya, tattooer from Clockworks Tattoo. Thank you, guys. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Anchor Screen Printing. Anchor Screen Printing has been printing t-shirts and merch products since 1999. Anchor is the place for quality, small-run items. At Anchor, every print is hand-done by people who care about art. No mass-produced, machine-operated printing done here. You can email Anchor at anchorcustoms@gmail.com to talk about getting something printed for your company, brand, or shop. Anchor Screen Printing also has its own online merch store that sells Elm Street Tattoo, Cheap Thrills, Heart in Hand, Party First Safety Maybe merch, and much more. You can check it all out now at anchorscreenprinting.com. All orders at anchorscreenprinting.com over $35 have quick and free shipping in the continental U.S. So go to anchorscreenprinting.com today and buy some cool shit. Or you can click the link provided in this podcast to shop now. All right, here we are with Tommy Montoya. We're separated by a fairly long table here.
But we're hooked up from the air.
We can't get a hold of each other physically, but we can communicate
verbally and mentally.
Close enough. But we're here in Fresno, California, not in the usual spot at home. We're here in Fresno, California, ready for the Fresno Tattoo Convention 20th anniversary. And I'm here with Tommy Montoya, longtime tattooer, owner of Clockworks Tattoo Club, man. And Tommy, thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, man. So getting this thing off the ground, we've got some good episodes so far. I'm stoked to have you on it. This podcast is not only about tattooing, but there are going to be a handful of tattooers throughout the mix. You are the first tattooer guest.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What an honor. What an honor.
I had to start out
curious.
I had to start out with the serious folks, man. But
get busy.
Man, Tommy, we've been friends quite a few years. But you know, I knew about you long before I met you.
Likewise.
And dude, man, it's just so cool for me and getting to a point in a tattoo career where you kind of have a close-knit friend group and a lot of people to do this similar kind of style, but then to also have, you know, me and you've had this conversation a bunch, like having a lot of friends in the tattoo community that do a lot of different style tattoos.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And kind of that was kind of the older generation of tattooers. Nowadays, it's like they were all friends with each other. It wasn't so cliquey. It wasn't so much like these dudes only did this style and they all hung out together. It was just everybody tattooed and everybody did their own thing. And it was like, it's kind of become a pretty strange world, you know. But I will say it's phenomenal what you do.
Thank you.
You know, and you have gotten to this point in this career because of you're a hustler.
Hard work. That's it, baby.
Yeah, you're a hustler, man.
Grind.
And you surround yourself with people that are serious about tattooing, and you still, you know, how old are you now?
I'm 48.
48. So you're only
28.
Only a few years younger than me, but you're still one of the guys that's out making it happen all the time. You're still hitting the streets and doing tattoos and running shop and having a lot of young people under you, and you're very positive in the tattoo industry.
Thank you.
But man, so you've been tattooing how long?
I've been tattooing probably, let's see, the first time I did a tat, I was probably 16, 17 with a homemade machine. So, you know, if you want to count since then, I'm 48. So that makes it like 32 years?
Yeah.
But maybe professionally in shops, like 27, 28 years, you know? I've been involved a long time.
It's the same way I answer the question. People ask me how long I've been tattooing. I was like, well, I tattooed myself with the sewing needle at 16, but do you start counting then or do you wait till you you know? But yeah, same story. Started tattooing by myself and then, you know, many generations of homemade tattoo machines and then, you know, getting into a tattoo shop and whatever.
Pro tatter.
A lot of people try to count when they started working in a shop professionally for money. They don't count the years of apprenticeship or whatever it is, but
those were the good years, man.
Dude,
all those years when you
man.
didn't know anything and you couldn't get help.
I mean, the best, my favorite tats are the fucking shitty homemade tats, dude. I love.
Even now. I should have brought stuff so we could have just made a homemade machine and did it.
Oh my God. There's too many stories. So I don't want to just get into this like storytelling session, but man,
that's cool.
Tommy
People love
tattooed, Tommy tattooed on a plane.
Oh, bro. So David, I know a lot of you know David. Rest in peace. We were on our way to New York, and or maybe on the way back. I think we were on the way out there to New York, and I think we were gonna go film Ink Master.
Yeah. You were coming for the it was on your way because you were coming to be a guest judge.
Yes. Thank you for that also. Hey, but so it was crazy because I love Mentos, you know, they make everything better. You could crash into somebody and pull out Mentos and you're good, you know, like the commercial. But so we bought some of those in the airport and I gave David a couple and he was chewing it and we just hear this loud snap. And he's like, holy crap, I broke my tooth. Pulls out a little piece of tooth. So we start laughing. I told him, hey, I had just bought a rotary just for the, you know.
Yeah, the battery powered
when it was just this iWatch thing that went a little watch with a power. They didn't even have the power supplies that hook up like they do now, but we bought one. And I tattooed him on the plane, you know, pulled out ink and the stewardess kept coming by and she knew what we were doing. And I think she was just more interested in seeing it, you know, and we banged it out, bro. We did a broken tooth on Dave. So I don't know if I'm the first one to do it on a plane. I did see it done after quite a few times.
I mean, you're the first person I ever heard to do it.
Yeah, I never heard of that on a commercial flight.
What?
On a commercial flight, baby.
Oh my God, it's so amazing.
Yeah, it's dope.
Man, and David had, you know, just speaking of David, man, some of the amazing things about tattoos is the most amazing tattoos. He had some of the most incredible work, full bodysuit, incredible work.
Done by my brother.
But man, tattoos don't last forever, man. You take them with you, you know, and it's like, any other kind of art, you know, that people save forever. You can't, you know, it's like you got to enjoy those.
Enjoy it while you're here.
You know, every time I saw David, you know what I did?
Slapped his butt.
No, I said, take your shirt off. Yeah. Let me see those tats. You know, I enjoyed looking at
those titties.
I enjoyed looking at those tattoos. And it's like, we do that a lot. You know, you at the end of tattoo conventions, you
always get the picture of everybody.
Yeah, take your pants off, show your tattoos, and just get a look at them. Because a lot of, you know, when you have a bodysuit, a lot of it doesn't get seen very much.
Not at all.
So when tattooers are around each other in a hotel room after a convention, you know, it's like, oh, let me see that tat so-and-so did 20 years ago. Let's see how it is. You know, it's really cool to see that stuff, man. And
like you said, the best ones are those crappy, weird ones, or the ones that aren't so perfect, you know, that look like a tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
I love when a tattoo looks like it was tattooed on, not, you know, I mean, I do black and gray realism and all that, but I also like it to look like a tattoo, you know?
Well, I'll say one thing about the way you tattoo is that you make a portrait look like art instead of just looking like
a photo.
It look like a painting. You know what I mean? It looks like a tattoo. It's a tattooed version of a portrait, but it has the likeness of you get the likeness of the person. It still looks like a tattoo. It's gonna last, and it's gonna settle in better. The tattoos that just try to copy a photo image so perfectly,
they don't hold together.
It just, I mean,
they don't hold up well at all.
We could go round and round about what's gonna last forever and what's gonna not, but the proof is in the pudding, man. Yeah. I'm seeing so many tattoos that are done today that I know won't look good in 5 years. And when I was on the show, I would say that on the show, and the people behind the scenes, they're like, how do you know what it's going to look like in 5 years? I was like, because I've been tattooing for fucking 30 years. You know what I mean? And it's like, sure enough, you see those tattoos come back, and it's like, fuck.
3 months. I see a lot of people now. You'll see a post on Instagram or something, especially in my area, and you'll see a tat that looks so dark and so, you know, just crazy where you second guess yourself. You're like, damn. Am I not going dark enough? Am I not doing this? I'm not doing that. And then you see the tattoo in person, and it's just like all gray, no saturation, no tones. You know, there's no different tones. You know, it just looks like all gray.
Yeah.
But with Instagram now, you got to watch out. You know, you could. People are fooled every day with Instagram. You know, man, with all the filters and
what you said about like make it look like a tattoo, man. I like, you know. I got into tattooing because I love tattoos. you know, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays are doing tattoos that don't look like tattoos. And I'm like, why is that even a thing? Why do you want a tattoo not look like a tattoo? It's if
like a print on your skin,
or an oil painting, or a stipple illustration, or whatever it is, or watercolor. It's like, dude, just get a tattoo, man. People ask me a lot of times, like, what does it mean? What's American traditional mean? I was like, really? All it means is that if you saw this image that wasn't a tattoo, you would think it looked like a tattoo. Like if you saw it on paper, that's a tattoo.
Like, that's a tattoo.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't look like a photograph. It doesn't look like a painting. It looks like a tattoo. You know what I mean? So it's like just tattoos that look like tattoos.
I love that.
You know, and that's my favorite thing. And if you don't really love tattooing, I don't understand what you're doing in the deal. You know.
Well, you get a lot of people, especially right now, that profess that they love it, and then they're quitting because the industry's rough right now. I don't know if you
slow.
The economy's slow, and people think that, we're not a necessity, we're a luxury. You know, tattoos are a luxury, and if you could get your clients to believe they're necessities, that's when you grind and you never get busy. You know, they need that therapy. When you make it more than just, let my client come in and let me throw my earpods on, or earbud. What are they? The earpods, or
next thing they're going to be wearing the goggles.
No, but and they zone their client out, and they don't connect with them. They don't talk to them. They don't ask them. They learn nothing about them. They just do this crazy little trendy tattoo on them, and then boom, take their money and they're gone. You know, I try to connect with everybody, make everyone feel like they're my friend, and even if they're not, like I just talk with them, and you're there 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours with them. Why not learn a little about them, you know, and make it more than a just tattoo experience, you know? And I do that, and I've stayed busy through this whole, like, everyone says, it's slow. I mean, the excess maybe is not there, but I'm definitely like meeting my what I want to do, you know?
This isn't the first slow time in tattooing that has happened since we've been tattooing.
It's a cleansing.
And I mean, it is
it's a test.
Yes, you're doing it for money. Yes, but that's not the only reason you're doing it. Like, you know, I tattoo for no matter what, whether it's
I do anything, any price, anytime. Yeah. You're just doing it because you love to do it. This is what I do. I tattoo. The money is just something that comes with the love of it, the hard work. You know, it's not like I focus, like I just, money, money, money. You know, thank God I've never, like, since I've tattooed, I haven't really struggled. I haven't hit a low season
But you've had some slower times and some busier times.
Yes.
You've set yourself up to have clientele and to have customers and have this, and you're good. You know, your fucking work speaks for itself. People see what you do, and then more people want it, you know, because you put care into every tattoo.
Every person too, you know?
Yeah, and let's say you do a big ass tattoo on somebody and you charge them a shitload of money, you know? AC, making noise. Right. But let's say you do a big ass tattoo and you charge a shitload of money, and the tattoo doesn't come out so great and the person's not so happy with it, that's a bummer. Super. And they're like, then they're not going to come back to you, and they're not going to refer. But then somebody's like, damn, how much was that tat? Like, man, it was expensive, but check it out. And like, fuck yeah, it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
You know? But
I don't charge. I mean, I charge, but I don't charge like some of the artists out there now. I hear some crazy stuff. I see like posts, and
that's a big topic right now about some people all going around the internet. Some people are saying like, these people are overcharging, and other people are posting posts like $5,000 for a day, and you don't get to tell me what to do. And it's just like, you know, the spectrum is going insane with people talking about
it's their gimmicks. Everyone has a different gimmick, you know. Since the beginning of time, you got to think there was always a gimmick, you know, like maybe it's not as complicated, or it's more complicated now than it was before. But, you know, you pass by an old school, or say, I don't know, in the 20s and 40s, and there might be like one tattooer in the whole town, you know, and you know, his gimmick was like, come in and see the naked chicks on the wall, or I don't know. Who knows what the gimmick was back then, but there was some gimmick that would get people to go in.
I mean, I love a gimmick.
Yeah. And we've had gimmicks. I remember when I first started, my thing was 150, whatever. I would just tell everyone, oh, what does he charge? 150 for anything. Tell him he'll do 150. They used to come, I want half a sleeve, or I want 150. I want a name. All right, 150, you know. It was just whatever you get, 150, and that was my gimmick, you know, and it was cool. But now it's just, I mean, it's just so saturated, and there's so many artists, and there's so many people doing it, and the economy's crappy, and all kinds of factors are going in right now, and people are just crazy gimmicks, like, oh, we're giving away the next 20 people that sell me $1,000, I'll give you lifetime portraits, or you know what I mean? These crazy. I mean, I don't agree with all of them, but I also don't hate. Like, you know, why hate on anyone? You know, that's another big thing. You got the generations that are like hating on each other. You know,
it's I just tried. You know me, I'm a friendly person. You know, I try to be friends with everybody at every tattoo convention, but obviously, I'm also
an old school.
I'm also a little bit of a shit talker, you know, and I've definitely been, you
bust balls.
I've definitely been talking shit about people using the dildo machine, you know.
The rotaries.
Not just
rotaries, because rotaries been around forever, but that
specifically the toothbrush, dildo pen style, you know, and I just
that just no sound, no feeling.
But also just the no adjustments, the no needing to learn how to adjust or build or work on. And it's like, I equate it to the Zippo lighter. You could have a Zippo lighter that's a quality product that you can...
The flame's quality every time.
But it's a quality item that you can refill with fluid. You can put a new flint in it. You can change the reel. You can put a new wick in it and use it forever. You know, or you could get a Bic lighter for 99 cents, use it till it burns out, and throw it in the trash. And that's what those dildo pins are.
Yeah.
Is when they go out, you throw them away, and you get a new one. And they're all it's just plug it in, and it does exactly one thing. You can't change it. And everybody uses the same machine to outline and shade, which I don't think is right, because my outliners run drastically different than my shaders. And I have outliners that run drastically different depending on what I'm going to do with them. And I have shaders that run drastically different depending on what you're going to do with them. Spring tension, throw, all the gap, the adjustments, the power, the fucking everything is different. How big the coils are, how much capacitor it is, how much spring tension do you have, how much throw do you have in your contact point. All these things are things that you can learn.
Well, it's like anything.
It's like if you take a race car and just everybody use an electric car, everybody goes exactly the same speed.
So the tattooing, I guess we're not special anymore. You know, before it was
the robots are going to be doing it.
Yeah, it was something special before, that it was a craft that only certain people knew, only certain people could do. Now, because of the rotaries, anyone could just pick up a machine and do it now, because they don't have to know how to use a machine.
You used to have to care.
Yeah.
And you used to have to dedicate some time to learning the equipment. And I think that any craftsman or any mechanic or any tradesman should care about their tools and have quality tools.
Yeah.
And you're going to give me some just...
I love coils, man. At my shop, everyone knows they could bring me almost... I feel like you could bring me almost any machine.
And I can make it run.
And I'll make it run good how I like it. I have a certain way I like them to run. I like hard hitting, you know.
Yeah.
And I always... So I love... shaders and liners, but I always switch them. So if someone's selling shaders, I'll go look at them and I'll shop for them. I'm looking for a liner though, but I buy shaders as liners. It is what it is. And then you
tune it the way you want it.
And I tune it how I want it, and I love it. And any machine, all my guys, most of the guys at my shop, they use rotor coils, and they know if it breaks within 5 minutes, we fix it. You know. Yeah. And there's a couple that use rotary now, and they just say it's easier and they don't have to deal with the tuning. And I like I said, I used to be like, oh, that's dumb, or why they doing that or this, but I I don't even care no more. You know, honestly, like I just do me and I worry about mine, what I'm doing, and the people around me. If they want to use coils, or if someone calls me up, hey, I got some machines, bring them down. I'll make them run good. You know, and I'm just gonna do what I can to keep it alive. But as far as all the changes, everyone hates like, oh, why are people doing this or why are people doing that? Well, I think we were all that hated group at one time. I'm sure, dude. The way you tattoo traditional, you bang out like 2-hour tats in 15 minutes, you know, phenomenal, clean, crispy, bright, vibrant colors. Like, dude, that's not normal what you do. Everyone knows you tattoo extremely fast, quick, and you're good. You're good at what you do. So it's like almost not autopilot, but it is. Your body already knows without thinking. You could be having a conversation into it and just whip out a perfectly done, executed tattoo that's going to heal perfect because you know your craft. So when you came out, is that good? I'm sure if you refresh it or tap it, it's just one of those things, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're rolling. So think about it, Oliver. When you came on the scene, how many old schoolers probably hated your guts because you didn't just start tatting fast.
And I was doing traditional tats and using purple and pink and
vibrant doing and use that 80s look to it.
Yeah.
You know, so you came out with this new swag, this new style, this new hip concept with tattooing that really wasn't like true, you know, 20s traditional, but it was close enough where you got respect and you honored the way they did it, but with a little flair into it. You know how many people hated you that didn't say nothing? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know how many dudes in their 50s and 45, 50?
All these new kids today.
Yeah, these punks, this punk.
And now I'm the old guy saying, these punks, these punks.
Yes, and see, I remember talking to an old schooler at one of the Pomona shows, and he's, oh, this industry, and we were all loaded, you know, we were getting high or whatever, and he's all, this industry's ruined, and all these young punks, you know, they come out here and they're doing all this stuff and blasting out these amazing tats in 2 hours. And, you know, I can't do that. I'll never learn to do that, you know? And he's like, man, I can't even make a living almost. He was like, it sounded real familiar to what we hear today.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me and he's all, oh, I'm sorry, man. He's all, I kind of was describing you, huh? He's all, exactly what you do. He said, he described me and he called me out on it and said, you're one of the ones that, he's all, I like you a lot, but you're one of the ones that made it fucking hard for me, you know? And I was like, damn. And in my head, I was kind of like, oh, I hate her, you know? But then, oh, I respect this OG, you know? And so I just kept my mouth shut. But, you know, after that, I kind of, by him saying that, it made me take on that whole idea, you know. Now I'm thinking like, oh, these youngsters and this, but it don't matter, you know. Everyone's gonna do what they're gonna do, and not to be like self, you know, cocky or anything, but no one's gonna be me, and no one's gonna be you, and no one's gonna give the experience you give. You know, there's probably people that could look at your work and do your style, how you do it, and learn it. And, you know, become like not a bootleg version, but a version of you because they're a fan of you and maybe even do better than us or whatever, but they're not going to be you, you know? So you just got to keep it. I just think make every experience dope for your client, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
When they see transparency, you know?
Well, I will say this, as being, you know, as riding the line of being a hater or not, I do enjoy talking shit.
Fun.
I do enjoy talking shit about people
fun.
on the dildo, and I do make fun of people that use it. And my old friends that have been tattooing forever that are on it, I have this little like spiel.
You drop them KY.
Well, I have this little spiel where I'm like, hey, I'm here for your support. If you want to get off the dildo, you know, I'll be there for you to talk about it, like kind of like helping you get off dope or whatever. And it's a fun little spiel. But I mean, I am stuck in my way of doing things.
That's okay.
And I love to give, and everybody, like you said, everybody gave me shit when I was coming up. And if the new people can't take the shit they're getting coming up, then because
they'll be the ones getting the shit one day, you know, or they'll be the ones giving it. You know,
hopefully,
it's bro. Everyone has their day, you know. Every dog has their day. It's all cycles, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I am having a lot of fun. I got some new stickers I'm going to give you this weekend. You're going to love them.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Just,
You're pretty controversial.
I like, they say that's, the controversy, or at least being out there, something is all press is good press kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just getting in the mix and talking shit and having fun and poking fun at other people and other people poking fun at you. And I mean,
it makes life a little like easier to deal with. And
but I
can't take it. You're never hateful, bro. Ever. I've never once saw you like aggressively.
No,
angrily
I'm I'm laughing.
Yeah, you're laughing every time you're talking crap. You're laughing, and then you just kind of like you're like out there, so you kind of like. It's like laugh about it.
It's like
I
like to run into a room and throw the stink bomb down and run out.
Bomb. You don't want to smell it, but you want to leave everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's okay. We need that. Too many people are serious.
Hey, man. I think that this career for me, man, has just been. I try to make the most fun out of everything, and so I just gravitate towards those other people that are enjoying and having fun with doing what they're doing, and I see that. That's me and you get along every time we're around, but I do see a lot of people taking it too seriously, and a lot of people being like, you go to a tattoo convention, but they're being political, or they're being grumpy, or they're being this, and I'm like, man, why'd you pack up and go across the country, go to a tattoo convention if you're not even gonna have fun doing it?
Be mad, huh?
Yeah, like cheer up. Come on. We're here to have fun.
Yeah, but there's more people like that than there's not. Honestly, our industry, it's still a tough industry. Maybe not like physically tough, or like it's not scary, or you're not gonna lose your life. Like, remember how gangster this shit was? I don't care if you were white, Mexican, black, Asian. Any industry of tattooers, everybody was like pretty crazy. It was a scary when you got in, when I got in, it was scary to get in the industry. Now it's not as scary like that, but it's still like you don't know what you're gonna get. Now it's a different scary, when you interact with people. Are you gonna get an attitude or cocky, or sometimes I feel like I was saying this for like months not too long ago. Well, I'm officially not a tattooer no more. I just do tattoos. Because I don't identify like, some people identify with like a carrot, or I don't identify with a tattooer sometimes, Honestly, I trip out that I see it and I'm like, damn, I was like that though once, like bawling out and, not fake balling, because I didn't have no bills at the time. So I was buying flashy cars and doing this and that and 20 chains, but never trust a guy with only one chain. You got to have a few.
I got one.
Shoot, you only have one.
I only got one. Hey, I'm new to the jewelry game, dude.
You look great, though.
I just recently.
Look at his machine, guys.
Hey, my buddy, Adrian Willard.
Adrian did a dope job.
In the Isle of Wight, UK, man, in England. He had his jewelry buddy make these, and he was selling them, and I was like, dude, I'm going to start wearing a necklace.
It looks good.
So I can. Last year.
Bro, that thing one day is going to like be worth tons when you kick the bucket.
Dude, last year
sucker's going to be
I was hanging out at the Feather Falls with you. I was like, man, looking at your tap machine necklace, and I was like, I got to get one.
They're dope.
I got to get one.
That's what we do.
I remember like the old dudes National used to sell them, and the old Roy Boy and Randy Adams, everybody used to wear them, and I was like, oh man. And I wasn't ever that like kind of. I didn't think I was cool enough.
Dude, that's what I was saying. I don't feel like certain shoes, you want to wear the pair, but like Hoka's or some, the new ones, I'm not cool enough.
But man, so I finally, Adrian made these. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get one, and I bought everybody, all the guys that work at the shop. I bought them all for Christmas.
Oh, they're happy.
So now we're all in the club.
That's dope. I like it.
And I haven't worn jewelry in 20 plus years. No. But now,
but it was appropriate.
They're at the shop. They're all making fun of me, calling me Jewelry Peck now. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Let them open a jewelry store. You do crazy. Imagine if you did create some jewelry.
I do like
slang some stuff.
The tap machine. You know what I
mean?
Like,
that's what we do, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a coil. Look at that.
I know.
That's a Supreme, huh?
Who's gonna make a necklace charm of the dildo machine, dude?
They already have you could buy the cartridges now. All solid gold, like a cartridge, all gold. and they're selling them online. So what I did is
Breaks my heart.
Frank the jeweler who made this. Shout out to Frank the jeweler out of Boyle Heights. 626.
I need to call. I need to
310.
I need to call Frank, dude.
Yeah, call Frank for all your jewelry needs. But no,
Hey,
Frank,
next year I'm gonna be blinged out. Buddy.
yeah, it's okay, bro. Hey, you were already part of it from the get go, bro. Hey, so yeah, Frank made this, but I have him making a little special project with some tubes, but they're just the metal tubes, you know, the old school. Everybody uses disposable tubes now, but the metal tubes, he's making mini ones at like gold, and I don't know if I'm gonna put diamonds on them, but I'm gonna probably try to do something for all the people who still use,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
you know, regular stuff, or I don't know, regular or old school, or what do you call it, you know?
What do you call it?
What do you call it, huh?
What do you call it?
Because pretty soon it'll be the minority.
I think, man, I've been to some conventions already where people use coil machines for
Taco Bell on my teeth.
I have last year at Fresno. I feel like the coil machines were the minority of the people. So
big time. Last year here,
yeah,
I didn't make it out. We there was a rough storm, so a couple of our guys crashed.
We barely made it.
They crashed in the Grapevine.
We barely made it over the Grapevine. The Dodge minivan got us here.
All snowy, huh?
Me and Carlos had never been to California before. We came to California and got stuck in a blizzard.
Damn, and that was bad. Last year, this time, the Fresno show was bad. It was closed. It was closed for like 6-7 hours. So it was like turn around.
Dude, we were on the Grapevine and cars were in the ditch everywhere.
Yeah.
And when we made it through the bottom,
you were relieved.
Like 15 minutes later, they closed the Grapevine down for like 4 days.
Yeah, that's what we got caught in that.
Yeah, it was a blizzard, bro.
Yeah, dangerous. And
Heavy.
you don't get that in Texas.
Not that bad.
You don't get that in Dallas.
A few years ago, we had like the 100-year storm. It was like crazy, but it was like.
In Dallas?
Yeah, but it wasn't. We don't have the Grapevine Hill to go over, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, sometimes the weather's nice everywhere, and then you go up the elevation through the Grapevine, and it's just.
I love driving that thing, dude. Drove it today, dude. 95 the whole way.
What is it, the Dodge?
Yeah. The Dodge minivan, bud.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey, it fits a lot of shit in there, dude. Packed to the ceiling.
You travel a lot, huh?
I love it. I traveled a bunch. Haven't left the country since 2020 happened, but I've been driving all over the country doing shit.
Why? Why don't you?
Just, once 2020 happened, you couldn't fly for like 2 years.
It's a mission, huh?
The planes were, leaving the country wasn't a thing for like 2 years. And then once it opened back up, just last year, a lot of the international conventions started popping back off.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And last year I was just busy and just didn't do it. So this year I'm doing Iceland convention. And
do you ever feel like as time goes on, sometimes we're all getting older, but where you're just like, damn, like I've done so many of these. I just don't feel like there's times where I get invited to expos.
Yeah.
And good little deals or packages. And I'm just like, you know what? I just don't feel like. I'm tired.
I still love doing it.
But I do love doing it. I'm not lying.
But the international aspect of it makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Because you can't take as much stuff. You can't take as much merch.
Customs.
You can't, and it's like this trip. This trip, we drove out, so I stopped at Aaron Coleman's shop, worked a day at Immaculate, then drove to Long Beach, worked a day at
I saw
Tom
that.
Mosher,
you drive everywhere, though.
And
That's
then come
fun.
here, tattoo, and then we're going to San Diego afterwards, tattoo with Gary, and then, try to make the most out of the trip. If I flew into Fresno, I'd just fly in, tattoo 2 days, and fly out. That's not going to be as much. But I don't mind driving. I love the road trip. I love going as many places as I can on a trip and more bang for your buck or whatever.
Yeah, I like driving. I have an RV.
I know. You got to drive that motherfucker.
I got it after, remember when I saw you moving out of the shop?
Yeah.
That time? When you had the big RV, I looked, I'm like, dude, you have an RV? And then it just settled in my brain for like 3-4 months. And then me and my wife were like, let's go get an RV. And we use it. We do use it. Just lately, we haven't.
You got to drive that bitch to Texas. Buddy.
Yeah, we want to. I don't want to take my wife to Texas, bro.
Why not?
Because she don't want to. She'll want to stay. Yeah. She's always saying, I want to go to Texas. And it's an option. My son right now is about to graduate, and that's my last kid in school. and then we'll see what he does. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that'll be in my future, you know.
Well, man, when
Tejano.
I closed down True Tattoo in 2020, and I was packing out, and I was driving out here, and for whatever reason, got on the phone with you and was like, "Oh, I'm coming to California, this and that, or whatever." Or maybe you called me or whatever it was, but you're like, "Oh man, I'll come over there." So you came over and you helped us load up, you helped us pack up or whatever. And I was trying to, I was leaving the shop, and I was like, I had tried to give the tattoo shop to a few people, like the people that work for me were like bummed that I was closing. I was like, "Dude, you could have it." You know what I mean?
Just run it.
And then I was like, "Tommy, you want this tattoo shop?" And you're like, "What's the deal?" And I told you the deal. You thought about it for a minute. You're like, "It's not worth it, bro." Free tattoo shop, not worth it, bro. Because it's like the rent's so high.
Dude,
and
the rent out
Hollywood
there,
is a
I'm
shithole.
sure it's went up.
Oh, yeah.
The rent has went up. And look at Mark recently moved.
And it's not as busy as it used to be. And
Yeah.
Hollywood is not the same. And like, there's no cool shit there. And then 2020 happened. If, whoever would have took over that shop
would have been screwed.
Would have had to pay that rent for 9 months while it was illegal to tattoo.
But you know what? One thing, granted, with the whole COVID thing, when they closed us down,
yeah,
we put paper on the windows, and we told everybody, just come in the back door. We cranked out so many tattoos. The shop was packed.
Yeah, but you couldn't have done that in Hollywood.
The shop was packed every day, though, with like people from our city, with people that work for our city, with people that were probably supposed to close us down were getting tattoos.
Oh, we were tattooing police during the shutdown.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, we don't give a fuck."
Yeah, that's what they were like. It was crazy. We were busy.
Not
busier than now. It was busier than now. Right now it's so slow. I don't know what it is, or maybe this is the new norm. Everyone says, "Oh, it's a slow season." I'm like, but what if it's not a slow season? What if this is just how tattooing is now? There's actually so many artists out there, so many people doing it, that this might be the new norm until people either quit or more kids turn 18. I don't know what it's going to be, but this could be, even though we get a snow season, this could be the new norm. I
think it's probably a little bit of both, but I definitely think the economy is part of the issue.
What we need?
Oversaturation and the economy.
You know what we need? And I'll say it. I don't even care. Trump. People are going to be mad at me for that. But you know what we need? We need Biden out of office.
Well,
and we need Trump.
At this point right now, there's pretty much...
I don't politic.
There's pretty much nobody that's happy with the current administration.
I just heard that a bunch of Democrats are turning their back on their party and they're voting for Republican candidates this year.
Well, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in politics right now, and it's very polarizing, and a lot of people are separating themselves because of it, and I don't like that. I want to keep... We all need to be able to talk about it and not hate each other over it.
I love you even if you are a Democrat.
Just kidding. Boy, I'm from Texas, baby. Hey, I'll say this, man. I mean, if people aren't paying attention to what's going on, that might be the problem, because you got to pay attention to every option. And dude,
a lot of people are uninformed.
If you pay attention to what's going on with the two-party system and how fucked up the two-party system,
it's ancient, bro.
This is what we don't want to do. We don't want to spin down a political deal, but I got to finish this topic.
It's a dinosaur, bro.
But the two-party system where it's just, they're not even that much different from each other, that is the problem.
Dinosaur.
We got RFK. We got Robert Kennedy Jr. running for president this year as a third party. Now, a lot of people say he has no chance of winning, but if a third-party presidential candidate gets 15% of the vote, it opens the door to start tearing down this two-party system. So even if he doesn't win the presidency, he can still make a major change in this country. So people need to stop voting for the enemy, for who they hate.
Yes, I tell everyone that. You shouldn't even be registered for a party. Pick the best candidate.
Yeah, but don't vote against who you hate. Vote for who you really love. So if you really love Trump, or if you really love Biden, or if you really love this, or really love that, or really love RFK, don't not vote for Robert Kennedy because you don't think he has a chance to win.
Yeah.
Because if everybody doesn't vote for him because of that, then he really doesn't have a chance to win. But if you only vote for this party because you hate
not based on like anger for the Republican or
vote
Democrat.
for this guy because I hate this guy. Stop that. Just vote for what you believe in and leave the other side out of it and let it really find out what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
It's that dinosaur two-party system.
But it's what they do it on purpose. They polarize everybody and they put the two extremes out there so they know half the people are going to hate this guy and half the people hate this guy. And so then it's like
division.
And they just go back and forth from one party to the next.
I wish when Trump was running, we would have voted these nuts in. Remember that? Did you see that on the? No one believed it. I'm like, I told my mother-in-law and my wife that I was on the ballot. I don't think they believed me, but
I mean, I almost voted for Kanye.
Was he on there?
I mean, he was running.
Kanye.
He wasn't on the ballot, but you could write him in. But he was running. At one point, he was running, and he is insane. And he said the craziest shit ever. And I was like,
he really is insane, right?
Yeah.
He don't deny it or nothing.
He's fucking out of his mind, dude.
But is he? I guess we all like Kanye's in one way or another.
I mean, imagine if I was running for
Look
president.
at you, though. You're the soberest guy I know. You don't touch drugs, drink alcohol, nothing. And you're the craziest dude I know.
Could you imagine how much crazy shit I would say if I was
party.
running for president?
Why don't you do it? How much is it to get your name on the ballot? A couple $100?
No, I need to borrow some money.
We're looking.
I need to borrow some money.
I don't know how. It's not a lot though to get your name on the ballot.
Well, I mean, to campaign and run and actually get a chance. Yeah. I mean, these fuckers are spending
millions. Millions.
To backtrack on the politics deal,
go ahead.
The real fucking issue that is the most important issue, not the presidential candidate, the most important issue is the term limits for the people in Congress and House of Representatives.
Like lifetime.
These motherfuckers have been in there for 40 fucking
100 years old.
Geriatric old people that don't know what the fucking day of the week it is or making all the decisions. But even a lot of people say we got to have term limits. But the problem is those people every 4 years and 2 years, people keep voting for them. People need to start voting more.
We need to get some younger candidates in there. People with more.
Every year there's young candidates, but nobody votes for them.
I know. They're young and dumb,
I mean, most people, the one election that gets the most voters is the presidential election. And we can't even get half the country to vote.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, when people are running for Senate, it's like 10% of the people even vote for it.
Yeah, nobody does.
Go
it's on
vote.
right now, the
Go
Senate.
Vote.
They're voting for the Senate right now. I'd rather get that baseball player in there.
Everybody needs to
California.
Go vote. Everybody needs to go vote. For all the local elections are the most important part because that's what affects you.
Well, everyone wants to complain and say stuff and gripe, but it's true. Now I know why I've always heard that as a kid. Oh, did you vote? Well, why are you complaining? Did you vote? No, I didn't vote. Okay, well then don't complain. It's so true. If you're not gonna vote, you can't say nothing.
And people think their vote doesn't count. I'm like, well, it definitely doesn't count if you don't vote.
Yeah,
it definitely doesn't count if you don't.
Yeah,
maybe it counts if you do, but it definitely doesn't if you don't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, back on the tattoo plan, man. I got a couple of questions for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just as far as like life transformation, kind of like. Anybody, here's what I say every time. It's like anybody who's done anything interesting in their life or made it to a pinnacle point in a career or whatever has obviously had to make some drastic changes in every area, mental, physical, everything you've done.
Everything.
Because who you were when you're developing and figuring out what you want to do with your life, and then you start doing a homemade tattoo, people like me and you, we started homemade tattoos with no idea that was going to be our job someday.
At all.
You know what I mean? So mental realization that you're going to go down this path is a change. And then the physical embodiment of like the work and dedication to actually learn a craft as opposed to just like do party tats. You know what I mean? What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Legacy Ink, the finest in tattoo pigments. I have been using this ink exclusively for over 20 years myself. It has been recently rebranded and marketed, but it has been the same recipe for decades. Real, hand-mixed tattoo pigments that heal great and last. People always comment on the yellow that I use and the yellow tattooed on me. My favorite, the Mayan yellow. I have seen countless 20-plus-year-old tattoos with the colors still vivid. Don't fuck around with all these newfangled companies with their watered-down baloney. Get the tried, true, and tested good shit. You can find them on Instagram at Legacy Pigments or email Ashley today to place an order at legacyartsupplies@gmail.com. Tell them Oliver sent you and receive a special discount. Don't just do tattoos. Be a part of a legacy. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of younger tattooers, or a lot of people that are the young tattooers that just started, they literally it was a decision to go into that career to do a tattoo as opposed to just let it evolve into becoming a tattooer. And I think that's the big difference in the generation of tattooers now versus our generation.
Oh, it's way different, man. I feel like it's harder for the new generation. Like you said, they made a conscious. We worked harder. I feel. I feel like they make a conscious decision now, and then when we get into times like this where there's no money hitting, nobody's going in shops, they're not busy. It's like probably panic mode. Half of them go into panic mode. Like, holy crap! Like this ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna succeed. And I didn't get into tattooing for that reason. Like, am I going to succeed, or I'm going to do this? Or people are like, oh, did you set goals and this? And when I talk to people that, young people, I'll say, oh yeah, I had my goal for this and that, just to pump them up. But really I had no goals. I did this to party and make a little money to pay whatever bills I had and get chicks and, you know what I mean? Do drugs and cool, meet cool people and get hooked up everywhere I went. It was just, I just lived it. It wasn't something, this is going to pay me. All I was told was, you ruined your life. When I started tattooing, oh, you ruined your life. Oh, you got your head tatted. You got tattoos on the sides of your face. Now people are with jobs, and
yeah,
but everybody was counting us out. That's how it was. Our generation got counted out. We were the outcasts, and it wasn't, this is going to pay me. This is going to get me a house. This is going to, I'm going to have some nice cars, I never thought of all that it wasn't there wasn't that prize that I set my eyes on, and I feel like it's kind of our fault. Especially I don't know if you want to say your generation, we're the same generation. It's our fault. What these kids see now, it's your fault, for going on TV, and my fault for doing on TV. But is it our fault, or did we just love our craft that much that they picked us out to represent it? And at least we represented it real. And you're who you are, how you are on TV. You're the same way in person. You didn't go and see. There's a lot of people, even in our generation, where TV made them. They went on TV and it made them blow up, and it made them this and it made them that. And when they lose that, they're going to lose who they are, their identity, a lot of them. And I've seen it happen. I've seen some of our friends are broke now, We made TV. It didn't make us, we were there creating it, and we already had our identity. So I just feel like, I don't know, we're kind of at fault for the way these kids see it. We did it so hard that they wanted to live our lives. Really. Yeah, maybe. We did it so great. Look what you have, bro. I'm already established, and I have a little nest egg that I built up. But when I go see all your freaking playland over there in Dallas, I'm like, dang, bro, this is dope. Wow, you got this. Tattooing gave you that. Tattooing gave you this. You have, dude, you're at fault, bro. You do
Yeah.
it too good. You have like a cool chick. You have like cool dogs. You
The
have
best
cool,
chick, best
yeah, the
dogs.
best chick, the best dogs. You have cool Harleys. You have a cool shop. You have a cool house. You have a cool this, cool that. Too much cool shit, bro.
Too
It's
much.
your fault. You made this look so easy and so awesome and such a beautiful thing, and it is. So we can't be ashamed of that. We can't be like, oh, we ruined it, or we can't say the generation now is ruining it. No, we're responsible for making it look phenomenal, and the people before us could hate on us for bringing these new techniques and this and a different lifestyle, but they're responsible too for being so badass and looking so tough and looking like they don't care about society, and they were outcasts and they still did it. Remember the people tatted? Dude, my dad was tatted, outlaw, worked for the Union Teamsters on a Harley, drunk. And I'm like, that dude is bad. My dad's a bad dude. My uncles, they're bad dudes. Tattooed up, seeing like just all the OG tattooers. I used to see, like, as a kid, like Mark Mahoney, Brian Everett, all them, Corey Miller, Freddie, you guys were like badass dudes, and it made me like, dude, I want to be like that, and I didn't know everything like you got, dude. The OG generation, you didn't just get into tattooing. You had to fight your way in. So I had to fight my way in this industry, and literally, I just did it how I thought, like, I'm just going to do it how, let's just live it. Let me just live it. Boom. I got high for years, but I still took care of all my clients. I still made sure, if I showed up late for appointment, I gave them extra, and I stayed extra for them, or hooked them up on price. But, I had my ways that I used to do things that the generation above me was like, dude, I hate these kids ruined it. These punks, And so there's another generation doing it. And, we could say, oh, well, those little punks didn't apprentice and they didn't earn it, and they're using dildos. And it's fun to say all that. Now it's our turn to be the cranky old dogs, even though, it's always better. You get more with honey than vinegar, right? So look at, obviously, the game, because you got an amazing shop with, tons of artists, and everyone wants to go work for you, whether they're old, young, middle-aged, 18, you got all ages. So you're doing something right, bro. Even though you mess around and all that, you provide this like leadership where people, they gravitate toward you. You know what I mean? And you're teaching those young kids that maybe they don't know everything and they got into it and they want to use a dildo, but at least they're going to be around you and be able to pass some of the stuff that they learn from you on to the next person. And they're going to change stuff just like we did. Yeah. We changed stuff. You put that hot pink and that orange and all that weird, where they're like, what the hell, Oliver, you crazy mother. You know what I mean? So these kids are going to do some odd stuff we probably don't agree with, but hey, the everything changes, every generation is going to change something. Every profession, every career, whatever it be, is going to change over time, and unfortunately, we're not immune to that. The tattoo industry, pretty soon those dildos are going to be outdated, and it's going to be this like, dude, hypersonic, little like thing. You just and it's the little robots. All you're gonna do is on your laptop real quick, what design you want. All right, go and sit there, don't move. I'm gonna go. I'll be back, and you leave the room, go have lunch for 2 hours, and come back. And
oh my god,
you know what I mean? It might get like that. Hopefully, it don't get like that in our time. But whoever's around is gonna have to accept that and learn to use that thing.
Yeah. Or man, the couple of comments you made me think about something about the difference between the earlier generations, man, and in the generations before us, it was even more heavy duty. But for us as young kids and getting into tattooing, the commitment of like getting tattooed,
you ruin your life.
You said it. Like everybody in my family, not everybody, my mom, my grandmother, really supportive, but my uncle's like, "What have you done? You're ruined. You can never." Though, and it's like, you had to make this commitment to dive into this industry, and because you had to have tattoos to be a tattooer, and you have to love tattooing to be a tattooer, and to love tattoos, you get tattoos, and to learn how to tattoo, you get tattoos. So nowadays, a young kid, a young 18-year-old getting a bunch of tats, there's no
repercussions.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, everybody has tattoos.
He could still quit. He could quit in 5 years and go be a nurse.
Because we're tattooing lawyers, we're tattooing doctors, we're tattooing policemen, we're tattooing judges, we're tattooing everybody. And there's nothing. And even in the old days, like people are like, now the only real
job stopper is the face.
Now, job stopper before was below the elbow. When I started tattooing, it was like anything below the elbow.
Neck, like hands.
Yeah. Well, when I first started working for Richard Stell, the shop policy.
Rest in peace.
The shop policy. He taught. I was a home tattooer until I started working for Richard, and he basically was like, "You don't know shit. You don't tattoo. You're starting right now. You're going to learn how to tattoo."
The real deal.
So I started over, and at a point when I already was loving what I was doing, I started over. And that's what sometimes you got to start over because you want to do it right. But anyway, at that time, the rule at Paradise is no tats on the hands, no tats on the neck, and no tats on the face unless you were a tattooer. And, well, no tats on the face no matter what, no matter who you were. But no hands or necks unless you're a tattooer, and no hands unless both sleeves are solid. So if somebody came in and wanted to get a hand tat, but then had an open spot right here, he's like, we'll do that spot first.
Yeah.
And I had to follow that same rule. People come in and want their knuckles done. He's like, nope.
You know the rule now. The new rule, right?
Oh, who knows?
Face, hands, neck, and forearms first.
Bodysuit.
Forearms, neck, hands, and face first.
I shit you not. People have got their first tat
all
on
day.
Their face.
Bro, all day.
First tat.
LA, all day.
First tat.
That's the new LA look.
Well, we in the 2000s, early 2000s, we called it the Warped Tour bodysuit. Neck.
The Covina look.
Neck.
That was the Covina look.
From here down and from here up.
We called it the Covina look.
They take their shirt off and they're not nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's how you start now. That's how most, I'm going to be honest, the new generation, I'm not going to, I'm not labeling them, but that's what it is. The new generation now comes in and they'll like look in the mirror. Where'd you want to get it? Oh, they'll look in the mirror and they'll, anywhere that they could see skin, that's the only spot they get tattoos. They're like, well, if I'm going to pay for it, I want to show it. I'm not, they're just naked, Yeah. I remember getting filled up here, before I did anything,
Yeah. Well,
I was saving it for dessert, all my forearms, some of my forearms, I had some pieces. I heard Joe Vegas one time. He had a spot. And I go, "Why do you have that spot?"
He's a funny spot.
He goes, "What do you think, man?" He's like, "I got to save some for dessert."
That's smart.
And I'm like, "You're damn right." And I saved a piece up until like a couple years ago, but I had saved it, and everyone's, it was right here. I kept it on purpose, and they would ask me, "Why is that spot open?" "Oh, I'm saving it for dessert." I just love saying it.
Yeah. Well, this whole forearm here was like my first homemade tats. Just garbage, just littered right here.
Yeah.
Like
the junk arm.
Oh my God. Party arm.
I have a leg like that. Junk leg. Those are the best.
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
No cover-ups
cool
for
now.
me.
It looks cool now.
I mean, you can't even tell what it is from 5 feet away. It's
but it's tatted. That's the
grayed
look.
out.
It's the look,
yeah.
bro. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
and hey, the look now is being tatted up.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
They don't even care no more.
Just tatted
There's
up.
a whole generation getting those weird like deer outline, like deer antlers, or like a weird like tribally, like sketchy tribally shape.
Yeah.
And they intentionally do the outlines like blown out and stuff. Have you seen it? It's a style, bro.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, it started out people that were hunters got like deer outlines, and now it's like hip little girls getting a deer outline.
Wimpy lumberjacks.
Yay.
Wimpy lumberjacks.
Well, how much travel plans you got this year?
I probably have like 3 or 4 more expos this year. I usually do it up until the summer. The last one I'll do is Albuquerque
I'll be there.
or your show.
Yeah.
Hey, oh yeah, I got a bone to pick with you, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm having to explain to all my guys. They're like, "So what happened?" And I go, "What?" They're all, "You're not on the flyer." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're all, "Well, you're not on the flyer this year for Elmfest." And I'm like, "Well, I've been on it the last like 8 years." I go, "Dude, it switches around."
Yeah.
It switches around, and so he can't have me every year. Like
I wish I could.
he has 1,000 friends, Yeah, no, I totally understand. But I just, between me and you, I told that kid Anthony and my little buddy Eddie that works with me at the shop that came, and Eddie worked at the shop, did a bunch of tats. Him. Oh yeah, he loved it. But I told them, hey, it was because of you guys. Just joking around. So that if you ever see that kid Anthony Miranda around, tell him, yeah, Tommy ain't coming back because of you.
Oh,
he laughs. He knows it's not true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, your show's an excellent show. All the years that I've went, it's just the way you run it is dope, and not people don't run it like that anymore. You could tell like you're not in it just to like, oh, let me make all this money. You kind of throw just a freaking high-class tattoo party, bro.
We make no money. Make no money.
Yeah. Stop, bro. Stop, okay? You made
the convention?
I just said made money. I didn't say how.
I made money playing dice.
You made money. I was there. I almost passed out. I don't know if everyone knows that story, but
man, well, I think we're going to let that one be on the down low.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
But, man, Elmfest, I appreciate you coming all the time. Hopefully you'll come back next year. Yeah. Obviously, I have a lot of...
oh, you have hundreds of friends,
I've
bro.
got great tattooers that come every year, and it's like, it's hard. It's hard to whittle that list down to people. And there are some people that get butthurt when they don't get invited. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm trying, bud. Don't get mad at me, And so... I usually tell people if they're not on the list this year and they want to come, I was like, I'll put you on next year so I can rotate it around.
I remember, I think Forrest didn't go for like a couple years or so, or I don't know, he didn't get invited or he got invited back. But last year it was fun. We were hanging out. I'm like, oh, you got your back on the team.
Well, he didn't ask.
He's awesome, man.
He didn't ask.
He loves it.
He needs to ask me more. Obviously anybody that I've invited to Elmfest is somebody that I'm personally connected with. It's not, it's not the kind of show that anybody can just buy a booth at. It's special. It's a friendship gathering. It's friendship gathering. So, man, so you're doing Albuquerque. I'll be at Albuquerque.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's a great show.
I love it. Remember, didn't I tell you to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you to do it.
Yeah, last 2 years.
Bro, it's all our friends. It's everyone you know.
Dude, last year, I copied you big time. I brought my own copier and own Thermofax.
So good, huh?
Yeah.
You did, huh? And just have it.
I'm doing it again this year.
Yeah, we do it every year. Sometimes we even go buy... if we don't take a copier, we do take Thermofax, but we'll go buy the copier at like Target and just leave it there,
Oh yeah, buy
it's
the
like
couple
$40, $60.
$40.
Yeah, Target.
40
to $60 for a printer that works perfect. You used our printers.
$40.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Jeez,
it's not worth it to like even travel it. It's more money to ship it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not paying attention. I've never seen no $40 copier.
All day, bro. I'm being serious.
I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, you'll find it.
Well, we brought one last year. Man, what a great show. What a great group of people, man. But just, that was the first year I went. The line for getting stencils made was out of control, and I was just like, you're like, hey, bro.
Come to our booth.
I got to
We have 2 of them.
Yeah, so I was like.
We had 2 of them.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, you got to come prepared.
I'm excited to go again this year. It's going to be killer. What else you doing?
I got the Rose City.
Oh, yeah.
Rose Garden or Rose. Are you doing that?
No.
It's up there?
Yeah,
yeah.
Got some other shit going on.
Yeah, and then I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing Prescott the weekend before New Mexico. Prescott, Arizona. Have you ever did that one?
Mm-mm.
With Tony Carey in them?
No.
Oh, you'll love it. You want a booth? I'll call him. I'm sure he'll make some room. It's It's just
what's it? I'll check the date.
It's a traditional.
I'd love to do it.
It's a traditional style convention, you know. But he also invites a lot of like black and gray artists, select, you know, buddies, and it's in Prescott, Arizona, northern Arizona.
Damn,
it's super
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
The little old town spot is this like old.
I've ridden through there.
Yeah, it has this old like Feather Falls has that downtown area with all the trees in the park and the little old shops.
We were riding through there one year.
That's how Prescott
They were filming a movie there when we rode through. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, so every year we go, they have it the same time as the rodeo.
Oh yeah.
So the town is packed. The convention's pretty good. It's at a little casino. Everyone there is super, super cool. A lot of traditional guys, you know.
Well, we'll be at Oroville next month.
Yeah, Oroville's great. I love that one, bro.
I like the small ones, man.
I love the small ones. You see me. Your show's one of the ones I look forward to. New Mexico for sure. I've been doing it since off the gate.
I mean, New Mexico's pretty big, but it's still good.
It's just run by the tattooers care. Bale and all those guys care so much about tattooing. They're old school too. Even though they're like they're ex-gang member, you know, style, black and gray bomb tattooers, but they also love traditional, and that's what they learned.
Yeah.
Traditional. And they have all the traditional flash up at their shop. They really do respect like the art.
Dude,
you know?
he is a solid motherfucker, dude. And that shop is the biggest,
one of the best in the world.
Shops
That's
I've
one
ever
of the
seen
premier,
in my life.
Look at that mosquito. That's one of the premier shops in the world, bro. Por Vida Tattoo in New Mexico. If anyone ever has a chance, you pass through Albuquerque, go see Por Vida Tattoo. It's
pretty amazing.
It's phenomenal. There's a giant mosquito just.
You didn't get him?
Nah, I was too slow.
He's hovering around you, dude. I ain't coming over.
But your shop's amazing too. You got a little shop, bro.
Tiny
and you
shop,
pack it in there, and it's busy and perfect spot, and just all I hear is good. You know, everybody wants to work there. Like, you got a good thing cracking, bro. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Man,
you know?
I like the tattoo shop to be the kind of like environment that's a friendly, small neighborhood hangout, like the old.
That's all my shop is.
Everybody has a good time there. You know, it's like just jam packed. I don't want to be tattooing off in a private room by myself. You know, I want.
Well, that's the new thing.
The environment of everybody in the room together, you know, and just like checking out what everybody's doing, and the hustle and the bustle and the excitement, and you know, it's
and
just
the back and forth talking and the radio
mean, you know
bumping.
me, dude. If I'm there, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
You know, wherever I'm at, I'm having fun. So it's and I like that. And like you said earlier, man, just giving the customer the experience
more than just a tattoo
and being a part of it and just interacting with everybody. And it's like, you know, it's hopefully that's what we're doing. You know, hopefully we're giving more than just tattoos. You know,
yeah.
And I really. The kind of people that I want to work for me and work at the shop is I want people that care about tattooing. You know what I mean? And it's, I think that's the biggest
that they care.
Biggest thing I look for in a newer artist, you know, is like somebody that really cares about what they're doing and, you know, always wants to fucking get better and better and better. The worst is somebody who thinks they're good.
No
you know
way,
what I mean?
Man.
The worst is somebody who thinks they're good.
And they're not.
Yeah, Richard told me, he said, the moment you think you're good is the moment that's the best you'll ever be. You know what I mean? You'll never get better than
Bro,
that.
I'm still learning. Like, you know what I mean? Honestly, like, I got kids tattooing at my shop that only been doing it a couple years, and I'm just like, how the hell did you learn to do that so quick? You know,
dude.
And
it's wild.
It's cool that I still feel like I could learn, you know, and improve, and like, you know, and I never claimed to be the best. I lived tattooing. I lived it, you know. I did it real. I didn't just like try to be this, put on this act or phony or, you know, I really could care less what everyone thought, you know, even on TV. Like when we did all that TV stuff, like you're one of the few that is really how you see it on TV, you're like the same in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not like, oh, well, that's how he acts, or he was an act. We're not actors, bro.
I'm not an actor.
We're not actors. We just did another project. All that is a different tattoo project.
Well, I'll say this: the one thing about
I will act though. If anybody you got any movies or producers, I got my SAG card.
When I was on TV, you know, they were like, if there's anything they wanted me to do or asked me to do or say that I normally wouldn't do in my real life, I was just like, y'all don't pay me enough for that.
That's
You know what I mean? You hired Oliver Peck. This is what you get.
Yeah, you don't got an actor. I can't act.
Yeah, if you give me Brad Pitt money, I'll do whatever the fuck you want.
No, but you know, when I did stuff, they would ask me to say certain stuff too that I normally wouldn't say, and I go, well, if I did say anything similar to that, I would say it like this, and I wouldn't use those words. I would, if I wanted him to convey that idea to him, I'm gonna do this. So I'll do this, but I'm not gonna, like, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. That's fun, right?
They didn't pay me actor money. They paid me reality TV money. Yeah. So they got reality.
That's it.
So
well, that's cool, man.
Man. So what's the big next thing? I mean, we got 2024. We got a crazy slow time right now. What? I mean, we're talking about all the things about like, oh man, what's gonna happen? These kids are gonna like figure out if they're going to have to quit tattooing or if they're going to stay in it, like the hard times or whatever. But aside from that, like what do you got going on next coming up? What's your plan? Just to ride it out or just fucking, what do you got going? What do you got going on that I don't know about? That's the question.
Well, you just got to grind, bro. Like there's no big secret, or I don't have no like, I'm not like, you know, putting away for stocks or doing this or no retirement account. Of course, I'm trying to save money to see if that market crashes or if something goes down. I for sure, I'm going to buy some more property. That, to me, that's the best thing I could have done is buy properties, because that's my retirement, residual income, you know, hopefully when I can't tattoo no more, which I don't know, who knows if that day will come or what. I'm sure it will, but I don't have no big ideas, but I just grind, bro. I'm going to continue to like run my shop. I'm going to continue to make people happy and try to draw a crowd in. And I guess I'm starting to realize too that you need to do a little more than just, you can't just like build it and they will come now. You know, there's got to be like, you know, like this right here, this podcast. What is this going to do? Positive. Whether it's positive or negative influence, it's going to have a major impact on your livelihood and your career, and people wanting to learn more about you or go to your shop and, oh, I saw Oliver on a podcast, I'm gonna go check this out. Or one of your guests, you know, you might, you know, stir something up for them, you know. But everything's just a grind, you know. I'm gonna continue to take any opportunities and be open-minded, you know. I just connected with this what you have is a merch guy, you know. I need to just come through you, as a matter of fact, talking about that.
Let me know.
Yeah, that's another thing we want to do. I have a couple guys that are real good with graphics at my shop. And I told them, let's do some clockwork stuff and we'll just order some merch. And, you know, I've never, you have merch where you could sell. I've never done that, you know, and I've made stuff, and I had my clothing line, but I had a team doing it. Now I just kind of want to make some cool stuff just to rep my shop and maybe like, you know, I've always been like, not against it, but I didn't care about like having stickers or keychains or, you know, hats, novelty stuff. I was like, that's for the birds. Let other people do it. You know what I mean? Like, I make enough tattooing. My one tattoo will outdo selling 100 shirts. You know what I mean? Like, forget that, you know. But you can't look at it that way. You got to think like, not everybody could afford that one tat for, you know, whatever money it costs, but they could afford a hat, you know.
Yeah.
And then they wear that hat, and now people, oh, what's that? Oh, that's my friend Tattoos, you know, because they bought your hat. Now you become their homie, you know, and friend, and now they tell everybody about you. So I'm gonna start like, the last like 2 weeks I've been talking to a couple of the guys I work with, and we want to do more of that, you know, and just utilize that. As far as projects, I have a couple people we are like trying to work on like a show idea. Not really like not reality, but like more of a documentary type deal. I got some stuff, like some ideas, you know. I don't want to really say anything right now, but yeah, I do have some stuff in the works just to showcase more the artist, you know, and the what you're doing here by us talking, you know.
I mean, really, I was as far as like starting a podcast, man. I've been a guest on a few other podcasts, and it just seemed fun.
It
You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, and a lot of people like prodded me, like, dude, you should start a podcast. You start a podcast. You start, and I'm just like, man, everybody has a podcast.
Yeah, but not everyone has the gift of gab.
And I started listening to podcasts, and then I was on a few other people's podcasts. And then I was like, man, I think this would be fun because I know a bunch of fucking retards that we could get on here and we could all just, and we could just talk shit and we could talk about
Have
things.
fun.
We could talk things out that matter. We could talk about things that are funny from the, you know, whatever. We just see what happens, you know, and just kind of kick it. And so far, man, I've had some really interesting conversations and it's been a lot of fun. And the hardest part about the whole deal was just starting it.
Doing it, huh?
Now that it's started, it's just easy. Like, you know, just you saw my little freak out trying to get the mic to work at the beginning, but just setting it up is not that hard. And then just doing it is fun. And then I've got a guy that edited it, and then I've got my girlfriend.
Yeah, you got your team.
My girlfriend Audra and the guy John that works for me. They did all the internet substructure shit to get it all set up, and that the hardest part was getting it ready to push go.
Yeah.
There was months of work of getting ready to push go. And then the easy part is doing this, having fun, hanging out with people that I like, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, it's cool to have, you know, like I tell people, I'm not going to have I don't want it to just be about tattooing. So it's not going to be tattooers every time, and it's not always, I don't want it to always be people that are my best friends because I'd like to have it be somebody that I don't really know much about. So it'll be kind of find out what happens.
Or someone you don't like. Imagine that. Like, well, hey, look, I don't really know you, but I've never liked you because you believe, you know, you always rub me the wrong way.
I would love to do that.
Now, by the end of this, I want to like you.
I would love to do that.
That'd be crazy, you know? You're friendly. I don't know who you really who wouldn't like you.
Oh, there's a lot of people who don't like me, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm abrasive. And especially in my younger years, I was way more abrasive. I was way more obnoxious. I wish, I say this often to my girlfriend.
The same as you were before.
I wish I could be as obnoxious as I used to be, but I'm just too old, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro.
I still like to run in the room and be like, wah, you know, but.
You calm down. I'm perfect example of that. Like, I was wild before. Like, and I still got it in me, you know what I mean? But, you know.
52, bud.
48.
Yeah, dude. You'll be 50 in no time, dude.
No time, by like the morning.
Dude. Getting old.
It's cool. But hey, enjoy it, right? Nothing's forever, bro. This life is not forever right here. So you just got to enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy all the process. Enjoy being 48. Enjoy being 49. Enjoy being 50. Enjoy being 60. We got to enjoy every stage.
And you got to feel lucky for everything you get. You know, my partner Dean passed away a few years ago, and it's like, I think about it a lot, and it's fucking.
He didn't get all those years.
But I mean, at 50, you know, and I'm like, well, you know, some people don't even get to 50.
Yeah.
You know, Dean was a wild man, dude. He did wild shit, and he did not try to live forever. You know, I know there was a lot of times he had hard times, and I wish he would have enjoyed more of the time he had. So it reinforces that mentality of mine to enjoy all the time I have, because you never know what's going to happen. You know, a good buddy of mine, Tim Beck, just passed away. And it broke my fucking heart, dude.
I was bummed out, bro. Timmy was a good, solid as they come, the nicest guy, man.
It broke my fucking heart, and like how much good shit he's done for so many other people, and what a fucking hard working, great, talented, beautiful fucking man he was to die so young, you know. But he did enjoy
life
every year that he had, you know. So I look back on that and I was like, at least he had a wonderful time in life, and he enjoyed it, and he was happy and friendly, and everyone loved him, you know.
Yeah.
It's better than living to 80 and being miserable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's
people like
I'm
that.
still having a hard time with the Tim Beck thing. The fact that I'm not going to see him again is fucking with me, and it's,
Well, there's no rule to grieving, you know that, right? Like there's no, like, if you cry every day, hey, cry every day. If you don't cry at all, don't cry at all. If you cry once in a while, do it. If you're sad every day, dude, all of it's normal. There's no rule to grieving, everyone's going to do it different.
I mean, like I've had, as you get older, the more people die, and you deal with it more, and that doesn't get easier, But Richard fucking had a lot of really not happy years, and that bums me out.
Like toward the end?
I mean, on and off over the whole course of his life, and I'm just like, that bums me out. He died young, and but so the point to this message is
enjoy life.
Is whatever it takes for you to enjoy right now, because right now might be all we got. If you spend time not being happy, it's wasted. The only true waste is of time, because everything else you can get back or whatever, you know what I mean? But you only get so much time, so just don't waste it. Enjoy it and do whatever you can do to be happy and make other people around you happy. Even, I feel guilty about, talking so much shit about people in the dildo, because I don't really want to fucking bum people out, but I can't stop.
Yeah, but it's your thing. That's what you do right now. It's okay. Don't stop it. You know what I mean? Like, for every person that doesn't like it, there's somebody that's going to defend it. That's what makes the world go around. That so many people have opinions, And there's a lot of people that feel like him. There's a lot of people out there that feel like you and just won't say it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Well,
man.
if I could do any small little bit to perpetuate the part of tattooing that I've been in to last a little bit longer,
you're doing it.
Then I've done good.
You're doing it.
You know what I mean?
Here.
I took something down and I brought it, and I'm doing what I'm doing with it. And if I can help it go a little bit further, and get a few more young people to draw on paper and do real art,
or draw on skin and just tattoo it.
Yeah. But, the digital world that is taking over of everything,
it just makes it so easy. That's what sucks about it. It's so easy to just go on the computer.
I'll tell you what I told this one young kid that was drawing on the didgeridoo, drawing on the iPad. He made a comment about me being old school because I was drawing on paper, and he was drawing on the iPad. And I was just like, hey, man, like, let me ask you a question. When in the history of time has anybody ever gotten better at something by doing less of it? You know what I mean? You want to get good at something,
you do more
of it. So when you draw on the iPad,
it's drawing for you.
You're doing less work to get the thing done. How is that going to make you better at drawing? Now, if you want to get better at drawing and better being an artist and better at tattooing, then draw on paper, do flash, do something, do real tangible handheld art with your hand, not this computer assisted. Because you draw that line.
But think about it this way too. To them, that's real drawing. To them, there is no more paper. That's not a thing in their tattoo world. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that crazy when you really think about it? That's not even a thing.
I know.
Having a piece of paper is not a necessity. There's a couple artists at my shop, and they're not youngsters. They're OGs, and they don't need paper and pencil. Everything's done on the iPad.
I have been to a tattoo shop where they didn't even have paper and pencil.
Yeah, we have a light table. We have paper, pencil, pens,
even have
light table.
They had no tracing paper, no drawing pads, no pen. They didn't have no pencils. You know what I did? I took copy paper out of the copy machine and a ballpoint pen and drew the tat with that.
Oh, that's rough.
And then the only Thermofax they had was one of those ones that print straight from the iPad.
Itty bitty ones.
So I just took the Thermofax, old piece of Thermofax paper I brought with me and did the hand stencil.
Oh, yeah. We still hand stencil. Most of our stuff at our shop, we have Thermofax, but everything's done old school. And I just tell them, like, you're just going to enjoy it more and appreciate it more. You know what I mean?
Just care more.
Care more.
That's the one thing I tell, people that work for me. I was like, just care more. It's like, oh, I care. I'm like, well, care more.
Yeah.
People
see it.
Work hard.
Realize it.
I do work hard. Work harder.
No, really.
You know what I mean? That's just put an ER on the end of it. More
harder, baby.
More
You're doing something right because all your guys seem pretty hardworking.
Well, the thing is it is a busy shop, and it's a little less busy now than the height of the busyness, but it's still busy, and it's
they're still feeding them. They're eating. Everybody's eating.
People get so good so quick because they're doing more. You know what I mean? If you do 5 tats a week, you're going to,
get good.
You're not going to get as good as somebody does 5 tats a day.
Yeah.
And that's just, sheer numbers.
That's it.
But I mean, like I said, just perpetuate people enjoying what they're doing. And, we try to, there's always complaining. But I try to get everybody to get on board with me with nipping the complaining in the bud. Don't complain.
Everybody.
Nobody wants to hear the complaint. You're just gonna make everybody bummed.
I got it good right now. My shop right now, it's fluid right now.
I mean, little Eddie's always smiling.
Yeah, he's in the room tattooing right now.
I know. I love it.
Grinding. That's the hustle I had.
You need to send him back out to Dallas.
No, I will. He would go, really. If you tell me when you have like an opening or you have a couple people traveling,
yeah,
you're like, hey, we need somebody. He'll go in a heartbeat, and he's a grinder, man. He'll stay. He's got that old school grind. It's my buddy Eddie's son.
He looks 15 years old with face tats.
His dad is our generation.
Yeah.
He tatted with me at Inkslingers and
cool.
Tatted with a bunch of old schoolers and Fat George and all the old school. Yeah, so his dad's an OG, and he's got that like upbringing,
You're lucky to have him.
Yeah, he's a blessing. He's a dope kid.
Hell yeah.
But that's cool, man.
Well, shit, Tommy, thanks for fucking coming shooting shit with me, bud.
Yeah, anytime. I hope you have me back,
Yeah, man.
Or maybe we tag team someone one day, next time we meet up, maybe Feather Falls, you do another one and we find another artist and tag team him and just talk. Maybe we get a young artist, a young that just is the epitome of the new generation.
And then we just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, but there's some that are like that. I know a couple of them that are going to be there that are super humble. They're the new style, but they're super humble, good kids, and they'll defend their, But that'd be cool to get a youngster, and just like, hey, what's up, man? Talk to us. How do you
tell us what's going on?
How do you feel about the old schoolers? Because I bet they'd be like,
oh, I got a question for you.
You guys hate on us.
Wait, I forgot. I got a topic. I got a topic. Do you know? I know you know. I know you heard about this. These fucking millionaire fucking sports stars.
Yes, getting put to sleep.
Getting put to sleep and getting
anesthesia and getting a full back piece.
Dude, the guy that plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. He got his whole back done.
He's got his leg. He got his leg put under anesthesia and had 4 tattoo artists tattoo him for 12 hours and sleeved his entire leg out. So basically 48 hours of tattooing while he's numb. And I'm just like, why? Here's my question. Do you think he deserves those tattoos? Do you think those tattoos carry any respect?
It's different.
Does it carry any respect at all?
If you want to take it to that route, like as far as like the industry and earning your tattoos and like even like just
like you see somebody that's tatted out
passage,
and you're like, that guy sat through fucking hours and getting tattooed. That is a fucking tough man. This guy is a fucking pussy.
But that's the whole industry now. He's just being part of, anyone doing that is just being part of the new
He's
generation.
just like, oh, I have millions of dollars.
No, but
why should I have to be in pain?
So back in the day when you would see someone fully tatted walk up and you're like, damn, this dude's a crazy biker, a gangster.
Yeah.
Did some time.
Now he's just a millionaire.
Yeah, now you see it, and people that are fully tatted I don't look at them and feel like, oh, I'm scared or what, this guy's going to do something. I just look and I'm like, damn, I hope I don't look like that. I'm like, do I look like that because I see a lot of people and I'm embarrassed for them, bro. It makes me like not want to shave my head and show all my head tats, or makes me never want to get another face tat or anything anywhere, where it looks ridiculous. But a lot of times you'll see those guys that are getting those big back pieces and all that. Did they earn it? No way they earned it. Not at all. But, did they did something to earn the money, like,
yeah.
What could you say? If anyone who's got $100K to drop to get your back done, to be done in 6 hours, first of all, you're going to be knocked out. So I'm sure not all those artists doing those tats are putting in that ink the softest they could, or there's no monitoring, so how I haven't seen none of them healed. How good are those things healing? If someone's knocked out and you could just drill the shit out of them. But
that's also like a lot of trauma to the skin to heal.
Tons of trauma. So when that person comes out, I'm sure it's not that pleasant.
But how does it heal? That much coverage.
That's what I'm saying. How does it heal? How does the person has no connection to that tattoo, no story with it? Oh, what'd you do? Oh, they put me down. I spent 100 racks.
I hate it.
It's so boring, but that's what the new generation is. That's the new gimmick.
But if somebody came to you,
hell yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
I would do it. I'm going to be honest, 100%. Yeah. If someone came right now and said, I want Tommy Montoya, Oliver Peck, and Little Eddie Gillen to do my whole back. I have $100K. I'm giving them, $25,000 each, and the anesthesiologist makes a ton too. So
yeah,
we're each getting 25 grand, and we're gonna be done in 6 hours. You would be there. I would tackle your ass.
I'll just fuck it up.
I would get you at gunpoint and literally, Oliver, start tattooing. You're one of the fastest I know. Your 6 hour part will be done in 4 for $25K, and then you just go buy your new Harley. Or come on, dude.
I don't believe in it.
I'm not saying I don't believe in it or I don't, but hey, it's a hustle. It's another hustle, and hey, someone else is gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do it or I don't do it,
let somebody else do it.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what if you literally said someone, I'm a fan of you, but I can't take the pain. Oliver, I got this lady coming to shoot me with a...
I don't even let people put numbing cream on.
I hate numbing cream. So I'm against it.
I don't let people use it.
I tell people it's horrible. I don't let no one use it. I don't like it. It puffs this and that. But since you already used it, I'm going to... Everybody's the exception. I'm burning myself by saying this, but I don't even care. But I tell everyone, don't do it. You're the exception. I'll let you this one time. And then most of them get it, but then some of them take it as, oh, he's cool with it, and they do it. So now at this point, like, I don't even care. I just feel like that's what I do. I tattoo. And
it makes it harder to tattoo.
It does. But I feel like this, at this point in my career, you pick it, I'll stick it. If they want... someone's tweaked out in this, I'll figure out a way to do a straight line on their neck and do the writing or whatever with them moving. Whether they sit still or they move, that's what I do. I tat. I'm going to figure it out. If they want numbing cream or they don't, or they could sit 8 hours or 10 minutes, I'm going to figure out. I got a technique. I can't say it on here, but I'll tell you after. I got it. It's a funny story. Me and Eddie will tell you, but we got this tattoo technique that if someone can't sit and we have 3 hours left on the tattoo, we just apply this special technique and we're done. We're done with the tat in 5 minutes. Literally, like there'll be a tat where I have like an hour and a half left, and this dude has 10 minutes left in him.
Yeah.
And I'm able to finish the tat, in that 10 minutes. And it's a special technique.
I can't wait to hear It's called not finishing it.
No, you finish it. You finish it. But I can't say it on here. But it's just funny. God. I'll tell you. But yeah, so about that, the whole thing, numbing and all that, I think it's crazy. It's where it's gone. That's insane. Getting a doctor or an anesthesiologist in there. It does cost tons of money. If you want to do it, more power to you. But yeah, I just think it is cheesy and you don't earn it. And life's like, what do you want to just fill up your whole thing like in 4 hours? The whole fun of getting tattoos is the journey, and every time you go and, I don't think it's meant to like, even me, I do like half a sleeve or a full sleeve in one sitting. If they if they got bread and they're like from out of state, hey, I'm coming in town. I'm only there 1 or 2 days. Can you bang out my whole arm? I'm like, hell yeah, I could do whatever you want. If you could sit and you got the bread, I'll do whatever you want, And I just make it a fun time. It's like a 18-hour fun day for me. Food, fun, tattoo them up, have a good time. And it don't hurt me at all. It hurts them for all those hours. So if they really want to sit and pay me, beautiful, So as far as that whole numbing thing goes, I mean, if I ran across it or someone called me and said, hey, we're putting together a team, and you're going to make this much. I'm not saying I'm selling out for.
Do you get paid in advance and doesn't matter how the tattoo looks? Because then I'm in.
Yeah, see, probably. No, really, I'm serious. Who's going to stop you? The person's asleep.
Yeah.
So, but that is crazy. That's nuts, huh?
Dude, just get paid in advance. Soon as they put them asleep, just leave.
Leave with some purple, huh?
He's out.
Do a smiley face or 3
Later,
dots.
dudes.
3 dots. Hey, you never know.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, Ollie.
We are stoked to be here at Fresno. 20 years. I came to the first one of these Fresno deals.
Yeah, I remember coming a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, I told these guys in like 2005, 2006. It must have been like this first, second, or third. I remember when my brother told me, oh, hey, Chris Earl is throwing a Fresno show and wants us to do it. It was like the first one.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a great weekend, man, and I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for taking the time to come shoot the shit, man.
Yep.
Bingo.
Thank you, everybody. Good to see all you guys.
Bam, bam. Hey, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Come on, guys. Click all those links. Push all those buttons because it really helps us out and gets us out there to more and more peeps. What in the Duck podcast is produced by Audra Cabral and John.com Niederkorn. Our sound, video engineer, and editor is Courtney, Jr. Larkins. Initial audio video setup and intro music by Blake Balake Pinchon. And a big thanks to everyone that submitted questions. Y'all keep them coming. Email me any questions you would like me to answer to whatintheduckpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on What in the Duck. What in the Duck podcast is proud to be sponsored by Label Solutions, www.labelsolutionsinc.com. I've been a customer of theirs for over a decade. They make the highest quality premium labels for all kinds of products. Food and beverage, personal care products, pet care products, beer and wine spirits, CBD products, automotive products, and more. They can make a label for almost anything. Multicolor, custom die cut, full wraparound labels, too many options to even tell you about. I use Label Solutions for all the stickers and labels for my stuff, like the Tiki Loco label on the coffee I'm drinking right now. They do have a minimum order of 1,000 labels, so they won't make you 20 labels for that soap you're making in your bathtub. But if you've got products to label, you need Label Solutions. Get started today at www.labelsolutionsinc.com.